Liggity floogity lemony floogity! Probably should have led for the end of it. Whatever. Anyways. Hello everybody! My name is Foxon Irontailed. Let me just steal a whole bunch of people's intros. Steal a whole bunch. There's only two. But, gosh dang it. Alright. So, I wanted to do a quick Starwars vs. Evil. I don't know. Would this be considered a theory? I don't know. Basically, my idea of how to freaking fix this show. Because, as you know, I do like Starwars vs. Evil. But there are some things in this that... And I'm pretty sure I probably did a video similar to that. But, you know, maybe this is a more updated video then. I do like this show. I do like this show very much. But there are so many things in it that peeve me the fudge off. And it's because it's freaking annoying. And these are my thoughts, at least, on how to kind of freaking fix this. Because, again, I do want the show to go on. And this show actually has a good idea for more stories. But it's kind of dumb. It's dumb and it's how it's freaking... Alright, so... Star vs. Evil. If you don't know the setup, go check out this. Go watch the show. No. This show has one... This show is, again, in the veins of, let's say, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Wander Over Yonder, things like that, Magi Sword. And it has something that allows it to kind of, it can be something very great. It's Star going to Earth, but she has scissors that allow her to travel to alternate dimensions. And these worlds can be freaky, weird, crazy, and all this stuff. And you even have, like, Muni and the dependent stuff. And, like, you know, it's slowly starting to roll together. It's slowly, you know, picking up steam a little bit more. But, gosh dang, this freaking show. This show could do a lot more, and I'm not explaining really much right now. It's because, I don't know. I'm doing this just raw. I don't really have a script. These are more just the ideas I have right now. But first off, this show needs to become more freaking subtle. And this is something, like, I went on an entire rant about this, like, for season 1, where, you know, they overshowed Toffee's missing finger. And this is probably the wrong hand, but they overshadowed Toffee's missing finger, which subtlety speaks way better than just, like, blatantly showing, like, hey, look, he's missing a freaking finger! Like, again, this show needs to be a little bit more subtle, or to pull itself freaking back a bit. Because, Adventure Time. Let me put it in this way. Adventure Time. We have the Simon and Marceline story. We slowly get bits and pieces of it, and each time, it kind of usually always hits. The emotional hit of all this, how sad things become. Stakes, even though I do like that series, Stakes, it felt kind of like what really is kind of hecking going on, but it still allowed for more things to kind of blossom from it. And though, mind you, I think, like, the whole thing, like, Marceline, how she got her abilities, it's kind of like, okay, so she gained her abilities from all these vampires. Like, that's something, like, a question, like, you really never really needed to answer. Like, how did Marceline get her abilities? Oh, she absorbed the souls of other vampires. Alright. Does that mean then that, well, with that, her ability sucks in souls, if she still contains that ability, I kind of want to see where that will go from now on. But, yeah, that's kind of like, that Stakes itself is just kind of like, okay, do we really need to see, like, how she gained all her abilities? It's kind of cool getting a little bit more backstory, especially since now there's a new comic coming out for what happened in between those times, after Stakes, but before Adventure Time, with following the little bunny girl. So that's at least kind of cool, and I kind of want to see more of that. But, especially see, like, the drama between Marcy now being a vampire now, but, it's a lot, showing a little bit more subtlety in those episodes, and it really works. It really works. Or, like, showing stuff like Susan, like, is she human? Is she not? Is she is she another human is she another human like Finn, or is she something else? And then you find out she has some kind of thing on her head, and it's like, what the fuck is that now? It's kind of just, and how does she go with the fish people? It's like little things like, okay, and then but they won't bring it up again until like many episodes later. That is good, I think. It's subtle, it's nice, and it's kind of like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And then that allows people to then theorize, to get more theories out on, like, okay, what the fudge is going on with this? And one reason why I think things like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, especially Steven Universe, and Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and so on, what things that make them very strong, so even Gravity Falls, what makes it very strong and what makes people more invested is trying to figure out these secrets, trying to know what these things are. But the thing is, Star Wars: The Force of Evil doesn't really understand that. It doesn't understand that much at all. And so it goes, Dark Demon Queen who married a demon. Sweet. That's cool. Let's see her. You just need to leave that little in there. That's it. Don't bring it up again. Don't bring it up again until a little bit later. Next episode. She's evil because she married a demon, and Marco is seduced by the dark powers. You're a freaking idiot. That's not subtle, you idiot. And oh, maybe it's supposed to be a little bit like, and then Star going, oh yeah, this chapter really didn't inspire anything. And Marco though, and Marco's all evil, and it's just like, that's not subtle. That's not subtle at all. That really is not. Especially since everyone on the internet is already saying, yeah, we all think Marco's gonna turn dark. Like there's a lot of people who are thinking that. My theory wasn't the first one. When I expressed out, I was like, oh crap, a lot of else people think that this guy's gonna go evil. But that isn't subtle. Subtlety is Steven Universe Ronaldo yelling, "The Diamond Authority is coming! He's coming to they're coming to collect whatever in the earth." That's subtle because that entire episode made him to seem freaking nuts. And so in the end, when he yells crap like that, it's just like, oh crap. It's like, yeah, shut up, you idiot. That's how you feel. But then rewatching it after you watch it, look further in, you're like, oh, fudge, I should have listened to that idiot. And that kind of, and honestly, it can do things, and this show could have done things like that, like Saint Olga's, the princess jail, basically. They talked about that like in episode 2, and I was just saying, oh crap, frame rips. But I'm like, oh crap, Saint Olga's, what's gonna happen here? Like this must be like some like very evil dark place, like. And like that one elephant chick got sent there, and she was frightened out of her mind, and all this stuff. What is this place gonna be? And not even like the end of the season 1. Oh yeah, we beat them, we won, dance party, woo! And I'm just thinking, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. That is like watching Star Wars and Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker. I just read like a comic of like A New Hope, and like they're talking, and Obi-Wan goes, "Yes, your father was a great Jedi. He was a great ace pilot, but he was killed by the evil Darth Vader." He's like, "Really?" "Yes. And Darth Vader is also your father." Wait, what? It's kind of like the mystery of like, okay, this Darth Vader is kind of strong and everything, and then just go, he's your father. Like 5 minutes afterward, like just letting her drop, like, oh, okay, and it kind of cuts out like the whole mystery, the strength of this great Jedi, and then it turns out this great Jedi is this mysterious evil creature, monster Sith, and it just turns out, yep, they're the same person. There you go, bye. Yep, there you go. That whole, oh, your father thing is like, yeah, I kind of knew that already. point. It's kind of like that. It's like there's no build up. There's no tension. Like heck, even if you want to say like Darth Vader wasn't supposed to be his father in the beginning or whatever, it's still kind of like that undermines everything else. It takes away the powerful impact and everything. Especially if like it's like Darth Vader was your father right there, and then right afterward Ewoks kicked the crap out of Darth Vader. That's kind of how that St. Olga's place felt. And it's just like, what the fudge? This show needs to become more subtle, more able to freaking wait. To wait. Let the story build and let the mystery kind of power everything as it goes on. Let the fans be like, okay, what about this? Like, heck, would have been a very good thing that they could have done was at the St. Olga's place, where they see the mural of the demons descending and the moon and the star. One of those demons in there, you could have had that demon in the same portrait as that aunt, that other queen that married a demon. That could have been like the husband of that woman, and you really wouldn't have to pay attention to it. Star wouldn't say, "Hey, that looks like the demon from that mural we saw." You could just leave it at that demon. And I'm not saying like they are the same demon because I can't really remember, but you could just have something like that. Like that demon is the husband of this queen, this ex-queen, and you just leave it at that. And then people, will theorize like, wait, what? Wait, that was that demon. Wait, what? And then and don't leave it. Just leave it at that. Don't bring up this evil chapter in the book. This evil chapter in the book that will then seduce Marco. Again, that's not subtle. That is like trying to do, again, what Steven Universe did in that, in a bad way. It's not helping the story. It's not allowing us to theorize. It's just, you want the answer? Here's the answer. Bye! Again, that's telling Luke in episode 4, Darth Vader's your father. There. Gosh dang. There's probably a better way I could say that, but I got Star Wars on the brain right now. But, yeah, it's just like, it undermines it completely. And another thing, like, again, like, yeah, it's cool, like, oh, Star is a magical princess from another dimension. A magical princess from another dimension. Fire. I think that's one of my favorite scenes. But, if you're gonna have Star in this, in, like, the regular town, and I do love whenever, like, they kind of, like, build up relationships between the different characters, like, Tom and Marco kind of building up, like, a friendship or whatnot. Maybe more. Star and Jana, or Marco and, what the fudge is her name? I want to say Brittany, and it's not her name, the skater chick. Building that up, those episodes are probably one of the better episodes in those shows. In like that Star is like among people when she's not, going out through all these other things, and that's fine. That's freaking great. But watching this, I'm just like, fudge me, this. But then watching other things like the bike episode, it's just like, okay, I know where this is going. Watching like. And or the times where you see Star's wand being affected by Ludo's wand, or more of the Ludo and Monster episodes were a lot better than what Star was doing in on Earth. I think the best one that Star had, where she was quote unquote on Earth, was when she left Earth and went into her wand and like started going through the memories of the wand and stuff like that. That was pretty good. And again, Star died in that. So actually, I might do a quick theory on that. Maybe. But, yeah, those were a lot better when they started going a little bit crazier. Heck, even like when they did like the slumber party and they had the little box that was Truth or Dare, that was even a better episode. Even though it was scary as fudge when they started transforming, like, ah! But, it's stuff like that. It's when they start embracing a little more, not where it's like just something stupid like, oh, bike stuff. Like first season, I can understand. Go a little bit silly. You can have quote unquote filler, but let the filler build up to something. Help it out Help it out a little bit more. Like what's its face? I keep bringing up Steven Universe. Steven Universe. You have episodes that are quote unquote filler, but a lot of it, all the time, most of the time, always builds up the world. Builds it up better and stronger. There's some episodes of Star Wars vs. Evil does do that. But it still feels... But some of them don't really feel like they build up the world. It's just stars on a bike. Whee! Other than like, okay, there's invisible goats. That power things. And like the whole thing with Glossric, they suddenly apparently he's supposed to be like a main intricate part of this story, but I don't give two fudges about him. I really don't. He's just annoying. He just feels like a one note joke, and he just bothers me. And honestly, if you made him, and yeah, I kind of liked a little bit where he was like a little bit like sad, like, oh, I'm the more powerful one, and there is a mystery behind him, like the whole jewel in his head. But again, there's the whole thing like they says like. Again, like he goes through that magic metal detector, and he goes and like they're saying that he has to hand over the jewel. He's like, no, this stays with me. I'm like, okay, there is a mystery behind him, and I kind of like that a bit. 2 episodes later, which again I do kind of like that they like he presses the button on it and it's light, and the Jana goes, oh, nice natural headlamp. He's like, this isn't natural. So you know what, I'll say. That I probably like a little bit more, only because that kind of like is like, okay, we don't really know much about Glossric, but we now know that this is not natural. This is something that's bound to him, is for some reason given to him. And again, watching that again, that's a little bit too close together, but still, it was kind of like it's just a slight little thing, and that's it. And it kind of works a little bit better. It's not like the Demon Queen, because he showed the Demon Queen or whatever, and it's like, oh, fudge me, and like you can kind of guess, okay, maybe that's gonna be like the yellow diamond of this series, but then like the next episode you see like, oh, book that's sealed, and it was her story. Star reads it, doesn't really care, but it makes Marco evil, and it's just like, oh, you're not being subtle, you idiots. I don't know, you're not being subtle. It just annoys me because it's like they're just want to throw mystery, and it's just like, no. Stop. Gravity Falls, heck, if anything else, Gravity Falls is a perfect way Star Wars vs. Evil could have, like, melded it. And especially since Gravity Falls may be in the same universe or Star Wars vs. Evil may be in the same universe as Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls worked very well. Any quote-unquote filler episodes still helped along the story or built up this world a lot better. Star Wars vs. Evil 1, there's so many dimensions I still haven't seen yet. Heck, if anything, this show probably would be a lot better if it was inverted. If it was Marco going to Star's kingdom and having to... I'm pretty sure I've seen animes like that. But heck, this show takes some ideas from animes also. From Dragon Ball Z to Sailor Moon. You can have Marco having to interact in this crazy world with Star and everything else. Star trying... Like, you can literally switch these roles around and it probably would work a lot better. Because you could have the weirdness of Muni. Have Marco kind of see this whole thing with monsters and Munis battling each other and stuff like that from a newcomer's point of view. Like, you kind of get that in Star Wars vs. Evil now, but in this way, it's kind of just like, yeah, there's this thing. It's Marco. I'm not sure if Marco even has said anything against it yet, but it is like, that he's part monster now, and we might see that later on. But it would be kind of cool to see that, then. And again, to spread things out. St. Olga should have been built up a little bit more than just 2 episodes. Then we're there and we beat them in 1 episode. Like, heck, even the Lich, who was talked about, who was one of the worst enemies that Finn and Jake have fought ever, and comes back again every once in a while. He's one of the worst enemies they've ever fought. And he was introduced in a little montage of him getting his butt kicked and knocked into amber. And in the episode where he's released, he at least got like 2 episodes about that. And what is St. Olga's? Oh yeah, just evil place that Star's afraid of. They beat it up in 1 episode, and I think like a 15-minute episode and done. Maybe it was a half-hour episode. I don't know, but it was like that, done, and now the headmistress is like freaking Team Rocket. ooh, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that Star Ketchum and her Markiku. That's just, gosh dang it. But yeah, I don't know. This just, I don't know. It needs to, one, be more subtle. It needs to extend it out more. Be patient. Especially, if anything, they should probably start, if they're not going to do a Wander Over Yonder style episodes, where, you know, one's episode Star and Marco, and the next is, you know, Ludo and Buff Frog, which anything, that's probably the best subtlety they've had so far, is what the fudge is Ludo's plan. That's probably the best version of subtlety that they have. And again, another thing that would have been so freaking awesome would have been is Toffee losing his finger. Yeah, that Toffee one is probably a better one too. But Toffee losing his finger and like the finger reappearing in the dream. How good would it have been if we never really saw Toffee's finger? Like we saw like very little of Toffee, but we saw Toffee, yes, but like they never did the whole zoom in on his finger 5 freaking times, super close, and like his finger cut off. What if it just like was never really brought up, and then the finger falls out, and then it's like, oh, fudge, something like that, or Toffee didn't go saying, oh yes, I have history with the royal family, or whatever, or some crap like that. What if it would have been kind of like that? It would have been like, that would have been kind of a Darth Vader moment. Like, why is Toffee so angry at them? Why does he want to do all this? And then you see that poster, the tapestry of Star's mom shooting the beam and cutting off Toffee's finger. Spoiler alerts. And then you're just like, oh, fudge. Like, yeah, we don't know exactly what led up to that, but still, it's kind of like, there, that's it. That is the I am your father line. But, yeah. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching the videos that I've done, click the link in the description below. Check out all my other videos. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And we will. See you later.